Ladies and gentlemen, boys
Okay.
and girls.
Welcome back to the Iron Sharpeners podcast, everybody. We are back with another uh, podcast, as to be expected. um,
How expected.
we'll get started here very shortly. Let everybody flood into the chat here.
Started.
How's it go? How's chat looking now?
Chat is popping off.
Dude, they're going crazy.
No, I saw your YouTube video.
I know,
Which
I
one?
watched it the other day. I had it playing while I was playing Minecraft.
The one you just uploaded.
Like minutes
Yeah.
ago?
No, it was from 2 days ago.
No, I upload 3 times a week.
You uploaded one today.
Yeah, I did.
I haven't watched
Minecraft.
that one yet.
Yeah, did.
It's another nostalgia bait.
Are you guys ready to start this?
Yeah.
Is that a scene pack?
What?
He's got YouTube up.
I was watching your YouTube video.
He's got that realistic texture pack. Are we gonna get started here now?
I don't know. Are we?
I
Dude,
mean,
you're the
you're
one
the
that always
one-
starts it.
Well, okay.
You know
well,
what
we can.
starts it,
All right.
and
You know
you're
what?
the one
Ready?
with
Here we go. Here we go. Everybody, shut up. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
Welcome back.
ahead.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the Iron Sharpeners podcast. We are back with episode number 5 today. And we are actually Skylar's pretty much hosting this, so she'll take it away. Skylar, what are we talking about?
We're going to be talking about seeing God through his creation. So basically, Noah and I just went to Tennessee, and it kind of got me thinking while we were going on our hikes and everything like that, how I wanted to do something based off of all of God's creation, how basically it came about. And so I wanted to talk about something that is often overlooked by like some people, I feel, and just kind of talk about God's creation and how it strengthens our faith.
Let's get into it.
Let's do this.
Noah, go ahead and start us off with
I will
prayer.
start us off with a quick prayer. Everybody, please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day, and I thank you for the vacation that we got to go on in Tennessee that we're about to kind of talk about here, along with just your beauty outside that we see every single day. I thank you that we get to see all that beauty, and please, let this podcast go well, and let us just spread your word through it. Pray this in your name. Amen.
So to start off, I wanted to ask a question based on, in today's society, do you think it's harder to see God's image in creation?
Harder to see, like,
The one, like, what he's done.
you're really quiet, Austin.
Oh, is that better? I wasn't talking
Yeah.
directly into it.
So, like, when you say, like, you say God's image in,
Yes.
so you mean like seeing, like, how God, like seeing God in things
Yes.
in society,
Yeah, like
In
or just
creation.
like
in
in that's actually kind of an interesting topic, because you can choose to see God in things or not see God in things, because you can see God in literally everything. You can see God in like TV and like, so it's really if you decide to look for God or not. So I would say no, it's not like harder to find him. Not any harder than it's ever been. but I think when we look for it, it's there.
I'd actually say I'd go kind of the opposite way. I'd say um, it could be a little bit harder to see God in everyday life, just due to the fact of all the distractions that we have going on in everyday life. It might not necessarily be like hard to see Him, just in like the sky, stuff like that, just everyday life. But there's other distractions that keep us from seeing it. So not necessarily it's harder to see Him. We just got more distractions keeping us from seeing it in the first place.
I
I
would agree with
agree.
That
that.
I
was
agree
Yeah.
good.
with that.
Yeah. So, kind of to kick it off with the first topic, it's God's creation reveals who He is, as in the creation is a reflection of God's character, which means His power, beauty, and order. Every part of His creation serves a purpose, reminding us we have one too. Creation was not random, it was spoken into existence by a loving, purposeful God. Something that I thought of that kind of puts that all into perspective is all of Genesis 1. And basically, that one is just reminding us that creation wasn't random or accidental, it was all intentional, spoken by a loving, powerful God. And I believe it was a total of 7 days that Genesis goes over. And the first 6 days is when he was creating everything. And then on the seventh day, he made that day holy. So I thought that that was a really good um, part of the Bible that kind of puts all of that into perspective for me, at least. And then something that kind of leads into that is the last verse of Genesis that says, God saw all that he made and it was very good. And then, so kind of the question that leads from all of that is like, what part of creation makes you feel closest to God for yourselves?
For me personally, it'd be ocean. Um, you look out and there's just infinite. Like you just look on and it just keeps going and going and going. It's like it's crazy to think that even though I'm looking out and I can probably see maybe a max a mile, that it goes hundreds of thousands of miles out. That like the world is just so big and vast that I can't even comprehend how big it actually is.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, mine's like basic answer. I mean, nature, obviously. That's like, yeah, I want to go deeper in, but I don't really know how to explain myself. So,
I feel like a good example is like when we were in Vegas and we went to Death Valley. Like, that
oh
alone was
yeah,
kinda crazy
that's
to even
great.
think that that was a that's a thing that, like, God created, like, it's a if you don't know what it is, it's basically a valley that, dries up, and it's basically a desert, and when all the water dries up, it just leaves a bunch of salt all over,
Yeah, it's
and there's a
just a
bunch of
salt
salt
flat.
sediment, and then but once it starts raining and floods, it'll flood. What was it? It was, like, 50 feet in, like, a matter of, like, hours. It'll go up just completely crazy, just
Well,
fulfill.
it can flash flood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it
Is
can
it
rain up in the mountains,
Yeah.
like miles away, and so if you see water, you need to leave because it's the
You'll
water's
drown.
coming. Yeah, because the water is forced to go there.
It's practically
There's
a
nowhere
big
else
a
to
big
go.
swimming pool that's
It's
empty.
the lowest point in North America.
Yeah.
It's one of the lowest points in the world.
Yeah.
And it was hot.
But yeah.
It was so hot.
It was hot. It was so I'm getting a
But
sunburn
even
in the
like,
car.
I, but yeah, when I stopped like when me, Brandon, and Hayden stopped at the Grand Canyon. Like it was so vast, and you're just like you're kind of in awe because like the way I think about it is like my eyes physically can't like comprehend everything. There's so much to look at that I don't know what to look at, and so it's kind of amazing that God can like God's creation is so much that sometimes we don't know what to look at, and I think that's kind of why we have trouble focusing because there's so much
Yeah.
that yeah.
So kind of the thing that I guess the consensus would be the vastness of the world is one of the big ways we can
I
see it.
I see
Just
like the 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 order of everything, and that's what I see as like that shows God in a way is because everything is made to help everything else, you know. So like the cycle of life, I guess, is what it is. But like everything, an animal eats an animal, which like feeds the other animal. You know, like it's just a big cycle. Or the plants feed the animals, which feed more animals, which end up feeding us, and like everything has a purpose in the world except for mosquitoes.
Yeah,
This-
screw the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Those are
I
awful.
really, that's like, that is the question, man. What were they used for? What was their purpose
Torture.
before?
But yeah, I think it's the order for me of everything, that the whole system that like I don't know.
That's
I
how you
see
see God the best.
yeah, I see things about like if like people have to decide between God and science, but I think it's the same thing. I think God made a system behind his reasoning. I think that's why.
Well, well, science actually came out of the church originally. The like scientists became scientists because they wanted to understand how God's creation worked.
Mm.
Hmm,
They wanted to understand God's creation, so they started looking into it.
Yeah, I mean, we do like it it makes sense to me because we do the same thing. Like if we create something, we have like a system put in place for how we create it and everything. So you would think,
Mhm.
that's the thing that makes sense with God is he has a whole system that makes sense with how everything is born. It's not like random by any sense. It's like it has a reason behind it. And I think that's why I struggle to see everything and then be like, yeah, this is all by chance. Like there's no way that everything just came out by chance. Like and the fact that we have like a free will and decision makes it so um that it's not just chemicals that are making our next move, you know. It's like we can actually choose the way we want to go.
the free will aspect of it.
Yeah, I think that's like an undeniable part of like just that God exists.
That was deep.
Yeah. I would say for me, um, when we were in Tennessee and we went on our hike like,
Um
trail that we went all the way
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
So we were going all the way up, and I mean, you could just everything. And then finally, we looked all the way up to the other mountain, and no, up there. And then it was
yeah,
completely
yeah,
warm down where we were.
yeah.
And it just kind of made me look at everything surrounding me. And it just kind of brought me closer to him in that moment because it just made me feel safe.
Just how big everything. Like it's just like what Austin was saying with the oceans, like how big those mountains are, and that's just the Smokies. You know, those aren't those aren't even the biggest in America.
You
You
got
know,
like
so
what Mount Fuji and stuff like that that are even bigger.
oh yeah, like the Himalayas
Wait,
are.
no, did you see Fuji?
No, I saw it from an airplane, and it's huge. But I was never on the ground to see it. Sadly, I want to go back and see it, but yeah, it like the creation
I've
in
heard
this
that
world is insane.
I've heard that Fuji's actually hard to see, isn't it? Because isn't there like, usually fog and
There's
stuff?
yeah, it's so humid in Japan. There's always fog, so it's pretty.
Really?
It's
Yeah,
rare to actually
it's
see it on a clear day.
yeah. I mean, you got to go in like the spring or the fall. That's like the best time to see it. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, just everywhere you go anywhere in the world, and you can just see like this insane stuff, that's in the world, and it just undeniably, there's a creator behind it.
So that kind of leads to the first Bible verse, Colossians 1, verse 6, 17, that says, For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. And so that one I felt fit that um topic very well because he is the creator of all things.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. I agree. I agree. I don't have much else to put to it.
Zach looked like he disagreed.
Zachary
No,
disagrees.
no. No. One thing I was thinking about, our dad used to say it a lot. He's like, nothing is ours.
Yep.
Nothing, not your money, nothing you, not even stuff you work for. You don't do it, shouldn't be doing it for yourself because it's not actually yours. You're gonna die. Is what you end up, you need to be doing things. God created you to work, but you're actually working for Him
That
and
Skylar
like, dude.
Skylar has that verse in this. This is crazy that you pulled that out because Skylar has that verse right. Do you have it ready?
I don't think it's up. It's very yeah.
Colossians 3:17. Yeah. Well, here I'll read it. It says she has this in here later in the session, but it says, "And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him." That's Colossians
Hmm.
3:17. So like, yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. It was just crazy that you pulled that out.
I feel like that has multiple meanings towards it too. Like, obviously doing everything in the glory for God, but then also if you're doing everything in the glory of God, it's pretty difficult to sin and like commit sin and things of that sort. So it's kind of a guideline, it's a guide rail, but then it's also praising Him at the same time.
So the next topic is believing and following the creator. If we trust the creator of the universe, we can trust his plan for our lives. God designed everything intentionally, including you. Um, so another question I have is can you think of a time when trusting God's plan was difficult, but later you saw his purpose in it?
Well, I can tell you lots of times when I find it difficult. I mean, I'm like a chronic overthinker when when it comes to simple things. That's the hard part. I don't tend to overthink the big things. It's all the
It's
little
the small
things.
things that'll get you.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, even like earlier today, I was just like overthinking the small things. And but I also know that I've been pushing myself. The dog, dude. Chill out. Um,
A sign from God,
no,
that
I
dog.
yeah, this dog, man. Um, I don't know. I've been pushing myself to just kind of actually let God do God things instead of just constantly overthinking it and letting it kind of ruin my mood for the hour or whatever. So I mean, with like there's the verse that um uh God doesn't give you things that you can't handle. That applies to the same thing, the small things. And really, like things will come to you that you can't handle. But he's saying like you have to go to him so you can handle them.
Yeah.
He's saying
So
the things will be really big, and you won't be able to handle them alone. So even when we take this big things and the small things, we gotta like give the small things up to God, and then we start to see him like calm like there's a calming thing about God's presence, and if we dwell in God's presence, that's when we start to see the bigger picture of like of what He's trying to to give you.
Yeah, and when you can fully put your trust in someone else, it's a lot less of a stressful lifestyle, I feel. Like, especially when you put the trust in someone that knows the plan, that has a plan,
Mhm.
and is gonna guide you through it. It's a lot less of a stressful lifestyle to live.
You want to read
Sure.
Jeremiah 29, verse 11?
Jeremiah
Yeah.
29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future."
So that one I thought was really, really good because even when we don't understand what he wants us to do, he has a plan for us and going to, in some way, point us into that direction where he wants us to be. I thought that that was
Are some of them an annoying boyfriend?
Whoa.
Shots fired.
An annoying little brother?
He's
Not
not
anymore.
annoying.
You're still little.
Funny guy. Funny guy.
You're always no, you'll always be a little kid to me.
Well,
I
aren't
can't
Aw.
aren't
see you as
aren't we
I
all
can't see
though?
Aw.
Aren't we? We haven't
I
changed
can
at
never
all.
take you seriously as an adult.
You shouldn't have to.
I feel like it's more of an
There's
insult.
there's nothing to be
It
serious
is.
about.
For Noah. He will always be a kid to Zach.
He'll always be the little baby. No one
It
will ever treat him seriously.
is what it is.
Noah, I treat you seriously.
You
Thanks.
never saw him as a child.
What's
I saw him
next?
before he was 18.
Let's move on.
Share a time when you saw God's presence, maybe during a tough season where he reminded you of his control.
No, you wanna get this one first?
I
uh,
mean,
Austin's going
for me
for it
personally,
already.
like I just have a like it might not necessarily be one time, but like what I like to do in the morning, like if sometimes like if I work from home or if I don't have a or if I don't work that day, I like to just sit on the front porch and watch the sunrise, drink some coffee, like especially when it's cold out, like being a little brisk out, sitting on the swing and watching the sunrise. It's calming.
I don't know if I
Zach,
have. I mean, I could. It's more of a cop out answer though. I feel
What
so.
is it, Noah?
I was just gonna say our dad passing away was, but it just feels like that's just too easy of an answer to say. Yeah, he obviously was in control. That was a messy part of our lives, so we had to just hand everything over, and that's how you get through that sort of thing. But like recently, I can't think of trying to think of something recently that I've.
I feel like it's harder for like when you do it, or it's harder to think of something of that sort when you haven't like gone through something difficult in a while. Like it tends to kind of be put in a back burner, and then you go through something, and you're like, oh yeah, you're reminded.
Maybe we need to change our mindset.
I thought you were gonna
Where
say maybe we need to go through something difficult. I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah,
I was like,
hard times. No, maybe we need to change our mindset and maybe look for that.
yeah. Be more intentional about finding finding those glimpses of God that we see.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of I feel like recently the past years haven't been like nothing tragic has happened. And I think that's what I'm trying to think of right now, which is why, like,
But it doesn't necessarily have to be
What about
tragic.
what about
Maybe something good time.
what about when your girlfriend broke up with you? Your
yeah,
ex-girlfriend?
yeah. I mean, that was, yeah, that
You were
definitely.
wrecked, my
I
guy.
was,
You
I
were
was,
destroyed.
I was not in a good spot right then. So that is definitely a place that I had to um yeah, that I had to put my full trust in him there, and I definitely saw his presence out of it. It gave me time to reflect on myself as well, and I think I grew a better man out of it. So I think that, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point actually. I think that's probably an answer for for this. But yeah, definitely making, like, reflecting on yourself is very important to see what you might be doing wrong, and trying to be better every day.
I'm gonna be mine isn't like a tragic one, but it's more of like a surprise to me. This is what I say. I like don't really overthink the big things. Like I literally moved across the country, and I was just kind of I had no plan. I was just going with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, oh yeah, I'll do that. That sounds fun. And
And
I
things are
just
working out.
yeah, things are working out. I trust in it, but like I didn't question it too much and be it like I still got to work. I still get to work for the same company and everything. So maybe that I mean, I'm sure that has something to do with it. But still moving across the country with no family and no friends, that's like just trusting God that you're gonna be all right.
I feel like the digital space has helped with that too, though. Like it makes it so people that were far away seem closer just from technology purpose.
Yeah, but then sometimes it feels like even though you're right next to each other, you're really far away because you don't connect.
Mm, that's deep.
Mm.
You feel the presence of them
What about
physically.
you, Skylar?
Mine, I would probably say, I guess the probably like 2 years ago would have been when I was just not really happy with a lot of things. I felt like I wasn't good enough for anybody, and it really kind of put me in a tough position to where I didn't know what to even think. And when I actually kind of gave everything to God, that's when I felt Him most. And when I actually started just being me and doing my own thing, He led me to a pretty good spot in my life now that just blessed me.
She's talking about me.
I was gonna say, is Noah in that equation?
He is. He definitely is.
No.
Nah.
Do either of you want to read a Bible verse?
Sure.
It's going to be Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6.
You get this first one, Zach?
Yeah, I'll get it. Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. Proverbs 3. All right. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Wait, how much? 5 to what?
6.
6?
Through
Okay.
6.
Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take.
And so that one is following the Creator and surrendering our plans and trusting His wisdom, even when we don't see the full picture. Basically, just you're trusting Him in everything, and He's going to lead you to where He wants you to be. And My good example of that is where I'm at with life today from where I was 2 years ago. And here I kind of wrote down that Jesus Christ is not only the creator, but the one who sustains everything, including our lives. Following him is aligning with the one who holds it all together. They have control. They are creating everything. They are leading us where we should be. I think that just covers all of that. Which leads into the next topic of creation and faith in everyday life, where we can find daily reminders of God's presence through his creation. And then I put on here, what are some ways creation can remind us to worship the creator instead of the creation itself?
Read that again.
What are some ways creation can remind us to worship the creator instead of the creation itself?
I feel like
Mm.
for me, the biggest way that I like get reminded or kind of do that is when I'm camping. I don't know, just seeing like because you're completely enveloped in nature, like especially when you're not like it's not like a super well known campsite. It's a little bit more out of pocket one where it's not as much electronics around. It's not like a lot of campers. It's just kind of tent camping. Um, because you're just fully enveloped in nature and stuff like that. And um, with everything else taken away, you just are reminded of everything that God has created and keeping focus that He created it all and He has a function for it all. I think is the best way to remember to worship the Creator rather than the creation itself.
The silence around a campfire, that
Ooh,
that
ooh.
almost more than anything can show you that, like, or like it like
Where
speaks
everyone's just
louder.
staring at the fire.
Yeah, the silence
Yeah,
around a campfire speaks louder than words, I tell you
Can
what.
remind you of
Like
God's
those
peace.
sub-zero fires we had, Noah.
Ooh, the ones that you're outside and it's cold, 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 and you're sitting around a fire with your muck boots on. And you stick them in the fire just to warm your toes up a little bit. That's what I
Dude, your
did.
shoes were melting.
Yeah, the rubber melted a little bit, and oh, but it kept me toasty. But yeah, those are the times where the silence is louder than words on in those times.
I'm gonna I'm gonna say, like, for some reason, I've always been, like, like, birds are kind of an amazing creature, I feel like. They sing and I don't know, they can fly around, but I don't know, I always feel like, birds are kinda in a way, they make you look up, so, like, you're kinda actually looking up to God. You see the birds, and then you're like, "Oh, wow, God created that," and now you're looking up at the sky, which is where God is up, so
One of my favorite ones is looking at the stars in the sky at night because it
mm,
kind of just reminds me that even in darkness, his light still shines.
Mm, yeah.
And that's also with like the same thing with like sunrises and sunsets, where the sunrise basically is showing us God's faithfulness, to where the sunset it reminds us to rest in his peace.
I like that because even though no matter how like messed up your day is and how awful your day is, every single day starts and ends with a beautiful sunrise and sunset. And no matter how just ugly the whole day is, it always starts and ends with that beauty.
And
you
it's
know
10 times better when you're driving through the mountains and you look over and it's just
That's true.
this beautiful sky.
Cornfields do all right though.
you know what I s you know what I saw in the sky today? And it
Airplane.
really made me
cloud.
think of the Lord. I don't know if you can see that.
What does that
A
say?
Chick-fil-A hot air
There's a
balloon.
Chick-fil-A hot
Oh,
balloon.
that's cool. That is cool.
That made you think of the Lord was Chick-fil-A?
The
Chick-fil-A.
Lord's chicken in the sky.
The chickens can
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
chickens can fly.
Mm.
And I like Noah's quiet one because it just, the stillness of the silence can just remind you of God's peace.
Yeah, and then it's just so vast as well. Like you've got the quietness of a open field at night, and then you've got the roaring waves of like a thundering sea, you know? So like there's
Mhm.
such a vast amount of stuff you can see and hear with what's God's created.
Something when me and Nathan drove down to Florida, um, we got there at like late at night. So, but we like the first thing we did was like we literally skipped stopping at the Airbnb and we went straight to the ocean. That was quite the view.
Was that sunset or
No, it was dark.
oh, just dark?
Went
Yeah.
straight to the beach.
There's nothing better than walking on the late at night. There's no one else around and hearing the waves. That's one of the
Yeah.
best things.
Till you step on a jellyfish.
Or a crab
Wouldn't
runs across
hurt
your
as long as you don't step
foot.
on the, stinger.
Caring for creation honors the creator. I have two verses here that I felt fit them very well. Noah already read the one, so I'm going to have him read that one again here in a little bit. But Austin, will you read James 1, verse 17?
Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of light, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change.
So, with that one, it's everything we experience, nature, blessings, provision. They're all daily gifts from the same God who created it all. And that one, I just felt fit very well in honoring and caring for everything he created. Noah, go ahead and
Yeah, it's Colossians 3:17 again. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him.
and then that one, that's that everyday action, doing it with gratitude and with your faith and just not doing it um
For yourself.
yeah, for yourself, doing it for him and honoring him. It just means a lot to a lot of people.
So so something I do, and I think a lot of people do, is we go to work and then we complain.
Mm.
So and over like I try not to do that as much anymore. I like I'll complain about something, but then like I'll be fixing a computer. I'll literally be taking apart a computer. I'm like, why did somebody do this? Why is this like this? Like this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But like I don't know. Like there's like a level of like, oh, I'm just like joking around. But then there is like part of me that's actually being like complaining. And so I think it's important to like look at what you're saying and like look at yourself, reflecting on yourself, as Noah was putting, and making sure that you aren't complaining about the things God is like giving you, even though you may
Blessings
not
from
necessarily like it at the time. We should probably be appreciating that we have it, even the things that aren't always great. We have it. So
That is a deep, great point.
I learned that from Chandler, like, surprisingly. Not really surprisingly, Chandler's a smart guy.
I was gonna
But,
say surprisingly.
it's just it was something we had because we were talking about just, like, having work, and, like, me and Chandler hated our jobs there, but we had the work, and so you had, like you have to stop yourself and be grateful for what you have.
Yeah. It's kind of like like you think like some people would kill to be able to like work. Like some people don't have the capability to even just do basic things like that, or like do daily work. And so
Mhm,
just being grateful for what you do have.
and, like, I always had to stop like, I always stayed at the farm for so long because I was treated so well, and I think, like, that was always a blessing. It was always a blessing. I was treated so well by, like, actual staff. I hated the job sucked, but but the the people who treated me well made the work worth it. It was enough to keep me there at least.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember, like, you're not just it's not only you there. Like, what you're doing is affecting other people too. So, like, that broken laptop that you might be fixing or whatever is helping another person out. And maybe they're having a terrible day as well. So, you fixing that for them might just make their day a little bit better. And you spreading God's light through it might just
I
change their mind on some things.
I think about that, but then I've literally, like, I tightened a screw one time, and the girl's computer would never turn back on, and I was like, "You saw I did nothing, okay?" I was like she's like, "It was already on the fritz," but I felt so bad. She was like, "I don't know I can't do anything else." I
Just
always have to,
slightly
like,
unscrew the screw.
I tried that.
Didn't turn back
Untightening
on,
the
eh?
screw.
It did not turn back on.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, everything we do affects other people, and I think we forget that a lot. So, I think that's important to remember that we are literally like a, a how do I put it? Like the light, like we're shining the light of God, and
This little light of mine.
yeah, and we better not
What is
shine that in a
that?
bad way. So, um we want to make sure we're doing well with that.
So, everything around us, every sunrise, every sunset, every mountain, ocean, and heartbeat whispers the same truth, is that there is a creator and he is good. So, leading into the last question I have is, if you could describe God's creation in one word, what would it be?
Hmm.
Good.
You can't use
Indescribable.
good. You can't use good.
Indescribable is good.
And that's another cop out.
How's that a cop out?
How do
Is
you
it our
describe it?
are
You can't.
you can't
Well,
describe
well, because like there was even a song. Well, Chris
I know.
Tomlin, he literally writes a song on like just the vast amount that like it's just crazy. It's indescribable. It's unchangeable. Like he
maybe
created the mountains and the
maybe
stars
the
in the sky.
maybe the question should be, if you could describe God's creation in one sentence, what would it be? Maybe that'll get some better answers out of us.
uh,
So
Something
that
so vast
song,
away that it's
that
indescribable.
that
Indescribably beautiful.
that song, it's the words are indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky, and you know them by name. You are amazing, God. That's the verse out of it. So yeah, Austin's. I mean, it works.
I
But I
think it's
mean,
so I think it's so hard to explain. You can't
Put into
explain. You
words,
can't. You can't explain.
it's
Here's my point. Here's my
it's
point. Hold on. Hold
indescribable.
on. You can't
uncontainable.
listen. You can't
Linda,
ex-
listen.
you can't explain God at all with all the words in the dictionary. So how are you gonna explain his creation in one word? indescribable probably is the best word for this.
Well, because there's so much that he honestly has created. Like, you think just based alone, like, the human anatomy is such a vast and crazy, like, landscape for, like and it's taken, like, scientists just years upon years to study, and we still haven't
They
figured
still
everything
don't
about.
I
understand.
I got a word, and Austin just said it, but vast.
Fast.
Hmm.
Sentence,
No comments on
I guess.
that. Okay.
Well, we said sentence, but we'll accept vast, I guess.
About you, Skylar?
What about you, Skylar?
Yeah.
For me, if I could describe it in one word or a sentence, I would say it's absolutely stunning and beautiful. The way that when you look at everything, if you're honoring the creator or just seeing him in everything on your hikes or at the ocean or looking at a Chick-fil-A balloon up in the sky.
Hmm.
It's
I was
you're
surprised to see that one. I didn't know it existed.
It's
it's
actually like, I feel blessed.
yeah.
Dude, I saw the moon this morning and the freaking Chick-fil-A hot air balloon. Like,
It's gonna be a good day.
it was a good day, except I sat in traffic. But that's all right. Got to look at the sky more.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you
And
ever gone
find the
out of the
light.
city limits, like the desert, and, like, just gone up and looked at the stars?
No, not since I mean, we stopped in the middle of Utah. That was quite the scene. That's the most stars I've ever seen.
The light pollution.
Yeah, there was nothing.
I want
And then we heard a donkey and we got scared.
Hee-haw.
to
A burro.
It was probably
Okay.
Jesus riding in.
I don't
Hosanna.
know. It was in the middle of Utah, in the middle of nowhere at 3 in the morning. I wasn't
Oh,
gonna
then
find out if
it was
it was
Joseph
Jesus
Smith.
riding in. Probably was Joseph Smith riding in. Here to spread his new tablets that no one has seen. And
And we're gonna move on.
and the story changed.
Is that all you have?
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I have on
Excellent. That was very good.
On the next episode, we're gonna review the South Park episode of Joseph Smith.
I don't think we were gonna do that.
I think we're good. I think we'll pass on
Anyways, guys, that has been it. Does anybody have any last remarks or thoughts on this here podcast about creation or anything going on in the world right now?
I mean, this was a very thought-provoking uh topic. It was good.
Yeah, I agree. I
Mhm.
think it got some good discussion out of us.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like this one, like, we actually were it's less it was less a little less, like, Bible study, more conversational back and forth with each other.
I mean, things going on in the world. Yesterday was election day.
Yeah, it was.
I
Oh.
won't get into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Right. You wanna finish us out here, Noah?
yeah, I'll close this out. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys next week on the Iron Sharpeners podcast, episode 6 next week. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for joining. Let us know if you want us to talk about anything specific, and we can do so. We will see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I need